musician, writer, poet, and student at the University of New Mexico, studying the sociology of creativity, focusing her research on eating disorder populations. She has seen the beauty in the blessing of recovery and strives to share the joy in her life with those around her. Welcome, Sierra Venegas.
Hi, thank you, Rudy, for that introduction, and thank you all for being here and sharing your stories. All of our stories have power, and it's just such a beautiful thing to see. Now, I spent my life with an eating disorder. When you spend your life with an eating disorder, you tend to think in numbers. But I have some numbers from recovery for you. 30 million, 62, 16, and 1. The first number I heard about eating disorders was 30 million, that 30 million people suffer from an eating disorder. When I heard that, I thought, I'm the exception. I don't fit into that category. That's not me. The next number I heard was 62. That every 62 minutes someone dies from an eating disorder, and that's where I thought I was exceptional. If this was an issue, I have it under control. This will not kill me. I'm an exception to the rule. Freshman year of college, 2015, I got into my dream school, the University of New Mexico. Yes, that is my dream school. I love UNM, it's great. And I was in this school, and I loved it, and I was finally living this life that I thought would give me everything that I wanted. And I was also neck deep in an eating disorder. I was talking to his therapist and started opening up to her about it, little pieces about how I treat my food, how I think about it, my body, how I think about that. And she knows this is something way deeper than we initially thought. And she said, Sierra, it sounds like you have an eating disorder. And I said, absolutely not. That is definitely not it. I don't fit into that category. So she pulled out the DSM, and I remember this pretty clearly, and she starts going through it with me, and I was like, absolutely maybe. And that maybe was enough to get me to listen. And she said, you have two options, treatment center A or treatment center B. And so I had to leave everything behind to go pursue this recovery that I wasn't sure I wanted for disease that I didn't know if I had or not. And it was crazy. I walked into this place with people I'd never met, and I faced so many challenges. And I faced this community that was so loving and kind and caring. I made friends. I met this girl who was also from New Mexico. And now I didn't travel much, so seeing someone who was from New Mexico, not in New Mexico, was mind-blowing to me. And we kept running into each other back in Albuquerque. She invited me to her church. I ended up going, gave my life to Christ, and that was where the shift in my recovery changed. See, because then it wasn't on my power anymore. It wasn't on my will or my strength anymore, but it was on something way bigger. And it wasn't an immediate shift. I didn't wake up one day and suddenly be in recovery and everything was great. So that brings me to my next number, which was 16. Now, as I kept working through this recovery, I realized that this started when I was way younger. I was 5 years old. I could trace it back. Now, a 5-year-old does not wake up one day and say, I'm gonna have an eating disorder and it's gonna be great. Similarly, I could not wake up 16 years later and decide I did not want to have one and be cured. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of support. It took a family who made sacrifices to make sure I was okay. It took a church who prayed for me continuously, friends who didn't leave my side, a treatment team who stayed with me even though I fought them every single step of the way, it seemed like. And it was absolutely beautiful. It was a lot of work. And one day I started working and I started thinking about it and decided this isn't the life that I wanted anymore. And slowly but surely it kept on going. Which brings me to my last number, which is 1. 1 recovery. 1 beautiful life that I get to live. You know, we have this phrase where we say we get our lives back when we get into recovery. This was my life. I didn't get my life back, but I got a life worth living. And recovery is nothing like I thought it was. It's not smoothies and avocado toast, mainly because I'm allergic to avocados, but it is a crazy, messy, beautiful thing in which there's creativity, there's painful experiences, but you get to feel it. There's joy and you get to feel it. There's love and you get to see it. And now I get to write freely, draw freely, I get to paint and sing and dance, and my life is finally something worth living for. I've been blessed with so many people and so many opportunities, and recovery is this huge miracle. So I stand here before you today as a survivor of something that I didn't think I had, of a survivor of something where I didn't think that there's hope, to tell you that there is hope, there is recovery, there is healing, and there is freedom. If you are fighting, do not give up. This is so worth it because you are so worth it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming out today, and I hope you enjoy the walk, and hopefully it warms up soon. Thanks, guys.